Do you trust the government?
For what? Of course I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You trust the government that recklessly audits people they disagree with and runs inefficiently and has huge bureaucracies of
I have to
nothingness?
tell you something. I'm a retired federal employee, so I used to work for the government.
Which agency?
Department of Agriculture.
Okay. So do you think there's any waste in the food stamp allotment in the Department of Agriculture?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, so you do think government is wasteful?
Well, we have to do something. We're not perfect.
Well, that's a horrible argument to spend trillions of dollars having to do something, isn't it? Do you think government is too big?
Yeah.
Okay, then you and I are in agreement. We agree that there's inefficiency, and so that's our whole argument.
I'm saying socialism is what our government's about.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Part of the worst parts of it might be, but I reject those parts of government.
What parts? Income tax, welfare?
Yeah, that would be a good start. Food stamps are too much. Housing, urban development, Department of Education.
What about Social Security?
I don't think young people should be forced into paying something we're not going to see. Social Security annualized growth rates are lackluster at best.
Yeah.
The government takes 7% of our generation's earnings to subsidize older Americans.
Have you seen the homeless problem?
That's
Seen people that cannot
Sure.
work for a living, that have mental problems, or
Yeah, I mean, I think there should be a safety net, but not a hammock. I think you'd agree with that.
Socialism.
Define what you mean by socialism, though, because I think we might be
Take where everybody pays in together. Everybody pays in for the common good.
for the common good. So.
Yeah. This university here, how many people could go to school here if it wasn't for the government paying for it? Nobody could pay for an education.
Sure, there's private institutions that exist. Sure, there are.
Yeah, but how do they work?
Quite well.
Because of donations. They work on socialism also.
So if your example of socialism is college tuition that rises every year, that is run widely inefficient, administrators that are unchecked, professors that should be fired, then you and I have the same definition of socialism, which is something that doesn't work. So for example, do you think Catholic schools or government schools run better? Do you think Catholic schools or government schools run better?
I think Catholic schools are much better.
I agree. So that's a private institution.
But that's because people contribute to the church, and the church gives the money out. And
The price per pupil to educate a student in a Catholic education in the state of Louisiana is about $8,900 a year. For the public education system, is about $14,000 per year. Yet the Catholic education is a much higher quality, much more likelihood to go to college, much more likelihood to stay out of gangs, whereas the public education is the exact opposite.
But what you're confusing is qualified, capable public administrators who are pretty much elected by how much money they spend, as opposed
Yeah,
to,
I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, that's my critique.
as opposed to people who are dedicated to their job.
Right, that's why we need more private institutions, such as Catholic schools. So we're in agreement here that the most dysfunctioning parts of our society are based in government control and the misallocation of resources.
So what happens to the people who are incompetent, who can't do a job, who can't work? Should they be thrown out the street? Should they
No, they should be taken care of by churches and community members and individuals.
Socialism.
No, that's volunteerism. There's a difference between socialism and volunteerism. Giving money to church is not socialism. A synagogue helping poor people is not socialism. A mosque doing a food shelter, that's voluntary charitable transaction. Socialism is the involuntary extraction of wealth to fund social utilities.